U.S. President Joe Biden and Russian President Vladimir Putin will speak in a video call on Tuesday as tensions between Washington and Moscow escalate over a Russian troop buildup on the Ukrainian border. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov confirmed plans on Saturday to Russia's state news agency RIA Novosti and said it will take place in the evening. Peskov added that the presidents will decide themselves how long the conversation will last. The White House did not immediately comment on the announcement. Biden pledges to deter Russian aggression. Biden on Friday pledged to make it very, very difficult for Putin to take military action in Ukraine and said new initiatives coming from his administration are intended to deter Russian aggression. What I am doing is putting together what I believe to be will be the most comprehensive and meaningful set of initiatives to make it very, very difficult for Mr. Putin to go ahead and do what people are worried he may do, Biden told reporters. Kyiv and Washington accuse Moscow of massing tens of thousands of troops on the border and of drawing up plans to invade. The Kremlin said earlier that President Putin will seek binding guarantees precluding NATO's expansion to Ukraine during a planned call with his U.S. counterpart. Ukraine says no to Russia guarantee. Ukraine is refusing to give up its aim to join NATO, as well as give any security guarantee to Russia, the country's foreign minister said on Friday. Dmytro Kuleba also told AFP he wanted other Western nations to do the same. He called on the United States and its North Atlantic allies to reject Moscow's demands for easing tensions along the Russia-Ukraine border. I reject this idea that we should guarantee anything to Russia. I insist, it's Russia which should guarantee that it will not continue its aggression against any country, he said, speaking on the sidelines of the OSCE summit in Stockholm. An agreement by Ukraine to abandon its goal of joining NATO is not an option, Kuleba said, stressing that NATO and EU membership are in the Ukrainian constitution. The minister added that it was absolutely inappropriate for Russia to exert any influence on decisions taken by a sovereign country like Ukraine or an international organization like NATO. Ukraine's defense minister told Parliament on Friday the number of Russian troops in the area was estimated to be 94,300. Alexei Reznikov said intelligence suggested a probability of a large-scale escalation by Russia in late January. He added that Ukraine would not do anything to provoke Russia but is prepared to respond in case of an attack. Moscow has warned that any presence of NATO troops and weapons on Ukrainian soil represents a red line. The Kremlin says it is concerned that Kyiv might use force to reclaim control of the country's rebel east. This week has seen a war of words between all three capitals over the rising tensions. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken told Euronews that Washington would respond if Russia acted recklessly over Ukraine. The West has threatened the Kremlin with the toughest sanctions yet if it launches an invasion of Ukraine. Moscow has insisted it has no such intention and accused Ukraine and its Western backers of making up the claims to cover up their own allegedly aggressive motives. Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, who met Blinken in Stockholm, warned NATO against deploying its troops and weapons to Ukraine. The top Russian diplomat charged the West was playing with fire when turning Ukraine into a bridgehead for confrontation. The current tensions over Ukraine come 7 years after Russia's annexation of Crimea and the takeover of part of eastern Ukraine by pro-Russian separatists.